Hello, fourth grade. Today we're here to talk about main idea and supporting details. Last week you learned about the difference between determining a topic and a main idea. Today's lesson is really going to focus on the supporting details, the details that actually explain our main idea. They're evidence to support our main idea. So here's your learning target for today. Your learning target is that I can identify key details to support my main idea statement. Like I said, supporting details are the evidence that a reader uses to support their main idea statement from a text. It's the evidence that you use to support your main idea. Let's do some review from a little short nonfiction article that we read together last week when we talked about topic versus main idea. So let's read it. It says the potato chip was an invention that accidentally happened. George Crumb was a chef trying to please a customer who kept sending his french fries back to the kitchen with the complaint that he wanted them crispier and thinner. Crumb kept slicing potatoes and cooking them until they became the crispy potato chips we know today. So we know that the topic is what the text is generally about. It's the subject. So the topic of this is potato chips. We know that when we look for the topic, we look for repeating words or phrases, and we see potato chip, potato chips. It comes up a few times in this short text. So the topic is potato chips. Well, what's the main idea? We remember from last week, we learned that the main idea is what the author wants us to learn most about the topic. In other words, what does the author want us to learn most about the potato chip? And as we read, we determined sometimes that the main idea statement can be in the end or the beginning. And we discussed that the main idea of this is that George Crumb invented the potato chip by accident. The main idea statement is in the first sentence here. The potato chip was an invention that accidentally happened. But we combined that with the name of the person, George Crumb, who invented it. So the main idea is not always directly in the text stated. Sometimes you have to critically think and put together different parts. So that's the main idea. Now let's talk about details that support that statement. If George Crumb invented the potato chip accidentally, what evidence do we have from the text that supports that statement? And those are the supporting details. So, what are those two details from the text that support the idea that the potato chip was invented by accident? Well, I noticed right here it said that there was this chef, and he was trying to please a customer who kept sending his french fries back to the kitchen with the complaint that he wanted them crispier and thinner. So that would be a detail that supports my main idea. If someone said, well, how do you know that the main idea is the potato chip was invented by accident? Well, the text was telling me right here that there was this chef, George Crumb, he was trying to please a customer. So the customer wanted the potato chips, the french fries, to be sent back because they weren't like the way he liked them. So he kept cutting them crispier and thinner, and that's where the potato chip came from. So here's another detail. It said Crumb kept slicing potatoes and cooking them until they became the crispy potato chips we know today. So this customer complained. He kept sending them back. He wanted them thinner. George Crumb kept slicing them thinner. And eventually he stumbled upon this idea of the potato chip. So these are two details that support my main idea statement. I can use these details as evidence to prove that the main idea is that the potato chip was invented by accident by someone named George Crumb. So let's review now the three important parts of determining the main idea of a nonfiction text. The first thing we have to do is determine the topic. We learned about this last week. The topic is what the text is mostly about, and you can do that by finding out what keywords or phrases repeat. Then we can determine the main idea. What does the author want me to learn most about the topic? You can look in the first or last paragraph for the main idea. Sometimes it's in a sentence. It's not always there, but it's worth a look. Then we need to locate supporting details. So depending on the length of the text, anywhere from 2 to 3 details is reasonable. The longer the text, the more details you want to support your main idea. These are sentences directly from the text that support your main idea statement. So it goes in that order. Topic, main idea, supporting details. You're going to practice this now with your teacher, and then you're going to get a chance to do this on your own today as well.